New policy for women in military combat was announced this week. Yesterday, the Defense Secretary Ash Carter announced women can now serve in all military combat positions. Iowa Senator Joni Ernst, who served in the Army, released the following statement. Over the past 14 years, women have honorably served our nation. I support providing women the opportunity to serve in any capacity. Joining us now is Dr. Paula Survilla, Humanities Professor here at Wartburg College, has a unique story involving the military. Can you tell us a little bit about your experience with the Canadian Army?
Sure. I served in the Canadian Army from, it seems like a long time ago, from 1982 to 1987. And I joined, much to the surprise of my parents, at a time when women were not typically welcomed, in a sense, in the Army. And in my case, I joined the oldest regiment in Canada. It was based in Ottawa. And it's a very special regiment. It has a British background, so one of the things that we were trained to do was a changing of the guard ceremony on Parliament Hill, kind of like they have in front of Buckingham Palace. And they needed musicians, and I auditioned. They auditioned across Canada, and I got one spot out of 100. And that started kind of a strange little career in the military, and it was very interesting. I think they began to allow women into this particular program in 1980, so we still felt very new to this and that we had something to prove. And we did. They continue to have women in this program and obviously in the military serving too.
So what roles could women have in the Canadian Army?
At that time?
Yeah.
At that time there was a lot of clerical work. And certainly, I think there was some leadership, but it was limited. My experience in terms of being promoted, for example, was unique. This regiment did a lot of parading, and for example, obviously I started off as a private, but we have a private, corporal, master corporal, and then you go to sergeant. And I had all my training up to master corporal, but they didn't like to have women become master corporals, because then we had to yell commands on the parade floor, and they were very, very uncomfortable with women's voices yelling commands on the floor, basically because you had a long tradition of this being a very male, very British, very different kind of environment. But at this point, I think things have changed considerably, and women can do anything in the military that men can do. We certainly, well, maybe not pull-ups, but we certainly proved that we could be as efficient and as dynamic and as positive to the work that needed to be done as anyone.
Right. So now this new American policy.
Right.
What do you think about that?
Well, it's interesting. Certainly when I served, that there was never that possibility. We were trained to do all of those things. I mean, boot camp was, in a sense, not gender divided. So I very rarely tell my students that I threw grenades and shot submachine guns in a very, very controlled environment. But I think it's a normal development, and I'm very pleased about it. It's 2015. It's about time that balance be performed, in every environment. So I'm very personally supportive of it. If women do want to carry on in that role, I think they should. They should be able to.
Now, you brought pictures today.
I did. I had an interesting moment last night looking through some of them. This is I don't know which camera I need to show this to. This is me in another age. This one over here. There we go.
Sorry about the technical.
No, that's all right. That's okay. So this is me in uniform before parade. I don't have as many of me in fatigues since we were quite the draw for tourists as well. But we basically every morning paraded on Parliament Hill to about 5,000 folks, and it was a very important sort of touristic PR thing for Canada, for the Parliament as well. And then during the year we served as well with less parading, more training, and certainly coming together in the regiment. So essentially I was in the reserve during the year, and in the summer it was full time.
All right. Well, thank you for joining me and
My
talking
pleasure.
about this.
My pleasure.
Great.
It was really fun. Thank you.
Great for women all over going into the
It's
Army and everything.
absolutely fantastic. Thank you.
We'll be right back.